What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Grady. I listen to country music on this channel and sometimes other stuff if I feel like it. Like my last video, which you guys showed a lot of love, my Maddie Poppy reaction. And she ended up winning American Idol, so I was really excited about that. Today I'm getting back into the, real country mix, though. And I want to talk about some of the music that I missed in kind of my 8 or 9 months that I was away from YouTube. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you know I kind of got into this country game last year reviewing stuff, and then I moved houses and just a bunch came up, and I ended up not making videos on this channel for the better part of a year. And in that time, I obviously missed a bunch of singles, and I've missed a bunch of things that I would have liked. And I still listen to music, I just didn't talk about it here. And I missed a bunch of stuff that I didn't like. But today I'm going to focus on the positive side, and I want to go over, in the past year, 10 country radio singles I actually liked. That's going to be the title of this video. And I say that because there's a lot on country radio to hate. A lot of stuff. They're selling themselves down the river, the sound of country music down the river, making country music just a subgenre of pop, and it's really sad to see. Everything in radio is going bankrupt. We just had iHeart declare bankruptcy, and all these big radio groups are not doing well, and yet this is still the #1 method of discovery for new country songs. And so we have this really sad thing happening in country radio where it is just trying to do anything to stay alive. And if that means introducing all these pop effects or these kind of almost trap beat songs, and completely eradicating anything that sounds too country that would make a casual listener go like, oh, I don't like this, it sounds old, they're just getting rid of it. And that's really rough to see, because it means that in some ways the public identity of country music is changing really fast. And I understand that it has to change, but it's just a bummer to see. And I'm going on a long tangent here. Suffice it to say, a lot of stuff on country radio sucks. But, and this is essential, there's a lot of good stuff too. There's a lot of really good music that's been coming out. I think country radio is not nearly as homogeneously terrible as it was a few years ago. And it's starting to splinter a little bit. This happened in pop music. If you go back to 2009 maybe, almost a decade ago, we got to that LMFAO era where we had them and Rihanna and We Found Love, and every single song had that same that kind of boom drop thing. And then everything got weird. Bruno Mars came out, and Miley Cyrus kind of returned with a new kind of sound, and everything just got strange in pop, and it was cool. And I think something similar is happening in country radio now. Not to the same extent, but it's definitely splintering. So, geez, I've already talked for 3 minutes. I'm going to get into my 10 songs from the past year that I actually really liked, because I think there's a lot to love here. So, without further ado, let's go. Oh, and I should also say these are in no particular order. So my #1 song that I really liked from the past year is Marry Me by Rhett. I think Thomas Rhett has given us no shortage of things to get frustrated about, like the kind of cheesy dancing and the really just sort of bland pop sound. I think of a lot of his recent music has just been annoying, as has kind of the attitude, don't talk about my father, Rhett Akins, I made my career. It's come on, man, just admit you had a leg up. It's not that big of a deal. But I will say Marry Me, I think lyrically is a really cool song. The kind of twist that you think it's about his wedding, and then it turns out that he's at someone else's wedding and he's the guy that's not getting married. That's super effective. I think it song burns pretty quick, because once you know the twist, you know the twist. But the first time I heard it, I legitimately kind of went, huh. I've never had this feeling listening to a Thomas Rhett song. There's a real story being told here, which is not that normal for him, I don't think. My next song is Cole Swindell's Break Up in the End. Now, Cole Swindell I've been almost as negative about as Thomas Rhett, if not more negative about him. But I really think that this is such a step forward from the kind of bro country sound of calling a girl your little beer holder or chilling it or all the crap that was on his first album. Break Up in the End's a really beautiful meditation on a relationship, where he is telling a girl that even though he knows their relationship is ultimately doomed, he would still do it again, because the relationship they had was worth it, even though they break up in the end. And I think there's a few little details I really like in this song. I Still Kiss You by the Shuffleboard. I love that line. And it's just pretty, and it's subdued. I think this is a really beautiful song. I was really impressed. I did not expect it from Cole Swindell. And of course, it's his slowest rising song on country radio. Why? Because it's good, and country radio seems to not respect that. You know? We'll hear more about that throughout the video. Number 3, Diane by Cam. Diane is a song written in response to Jolene, so it's almost from Jolene's perspective. So it's from the other woman's perspective to the wife, and it's saying like, I've been hooking up with your husband, but I didn't know he was married, and if I did, I would have never done that, and I think you deserve to know that. I can't think of another song that has those characters interacting, that has the other woman talking to the wife in this apologetic way. And that's a really somber message, but it's against this kind of shimmery, sort of 1970s, like, driving pop country sound that I think's really effective and cool, and it's such a dichotomy. The song did not take off on US radio, though it's found a huge audience in the UK, which is cool. As time goes on, I do think this will be one of Cam's defining hits, because it's just such a unique, interesting song, and music video-wise, it is excellent. I mean, it is one of the best music videos, and country music videos are not usually very good, but this, it looks stunning, it's edited perfectly, it elevates the story and helps you understand what's going on, so great work by all parties there, and you know, what can we say? It wasn't a hit on the radio, but part of me even making this channel is trying to move country music onto the internet, where it's way more democratic, and we don't have to worry about radio being the big hit, because I gotta let go of my bitterness toward radio, you know? Otherwise, I'm gonna go crazy. Number 4, we got Lauren Alaina's Doin' Fine. Now, if you looked at one of my very first videos on this country thing that I'm doing here on YouTube, you would see my album reaction to Lauren Alaina's Road Less Traveled, an album I really, really believe in, that I think is sort of the perfect kind of pop country that I wish were more popular. Now, Doin' Fine would not have been my single choice. I think it's kind of a complicated story that might not translate on the radio, and I really, 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 really have been pulling for Same Day, Different Bottle, which at this point, I don't know that it's going to get a single release, but I would do that. I would do Paintin' Pillows. I would do 3. Any of those I think are really interesting and risky and would have huge payoff singles. Now, Doin' Fine's a really, really good song, though. It's about, you know, her parents splitting up and all kind of her fears that she's feeling, but at the end of the day, she's fine. It's kind of like an anti-anxiety message, which I think is really prescient with a lot of young people today. And I think it's like a good sounding song. It's rooted, it's nice, it's driving, and Lauren can belt, and her voice sounds amazing. And the song, I don't know, they pushed it for over a year, only for it to get to like the low 20s on the chart, like 27th or something, maybe 24th on Country Airplay. That's crazy to me, that a label would push and push and push and push and push that hard for something the public clearly wasn't that motivated by. It was never selling that well, so I don't really get that, but I really, really like this album. I actually really hope they push another song from it, but I'm guessing they're not going to. Anyway, I love Lauren Alaina. I look forward to just seeing the moment it all comes together, and I hope that does happen for her. My number 5 song is Jason Aldean's You Make It Easy. This is kind of in that, I've called it WAP country instead of pop country, because it's this kind of doo-wop sound that ever since Blue Ain't Your Color by Keith Urban and this and Girl Crush, there's definitely a vibe of these kind of soul country songs that are in more of they're usually in 3 instead of in 4, and they're really pleasant to listen to. If it's audacious electric guitar bro country or this, I'll definitely take this. It's kind of that sort of prom night feel about it. And Jason Aldean, when he tries, can be really good. You know, I said in my album roundup that Rearview Town is not the album for me, but I think this song is definitely one of the highlights on it, and it makes you just feel sort of bluesy and romantic. Now, obviously, it's recently been caught up in this big copyright dispute. I'm not sure what I think about it. I don't fully hear the similarities in the songs, other than the hook being literally the words, "You make it easy." But the original songwriter's version sounds a lot more like, the Commodores or Leon Bridges to me, not necessarily like this song, and I don't know, there's just not quite enough evidence. Read up on it yourself, but I'm not sure what to think. I'll be interested to see if they can really provide much evidence to prove that it was taken, but in any case, Jason Aldean wasn't the one that wrote it. It was written by some of the members of Florida Georgia Line and some other people, but really good song. Definitely kind of a misnomer for the sound of the album. The sound of the album is much more in the kind of vein of what's a dumb song? Small Town Throwdown or She's Country than it is this song, but it's okay. I was happy to see Jason Aldean do something that a lot of people really liked. Number 6, we got Jon Pardi's Heartache on the Dance Floor. I freaking love this song. There's probably no song that I crank harder when I hear it than this song. And again, this isn't a ranking. This is probably like my number 1 favorite of all these songs. I just really, really like it. It's got an energy about it, but it doesn't have like too cheesy of like an R&B beat or like an over pop production. It still feels like a honky tonker, just a really bright, kind of flowery one. And it's romantic, light, fun. It's everything that makes California Sunrise a great album. And I just am so happy that Jon Pardi is the star that he is, because it is awesome. He's kind of like if Aaron Watson were to go mainstream. That's what he's given me. Number 7 for me is Greatest Love Story by Lanco. Lanco. I don't know. There's not like an elegant way to say that. Lanco or Lanco. But I was ready to dislike these guys because their PR shots just make them look like they were a boy band assembled by Simon Cowell and pushed in the country direction. But Greatest Love Story sounds so good. It's a very fun story to hear him kind of come back and fall in love with his high school love, and it's a really beautiful melodic song. I like the pluckiness that's in the chorus of this song. I like the pause before the chorus comes in, and it's like a little anti-drop. It's just like you settle right into it. So, and then it ends with a proposal, and I'm a sucker for the manipulative country song. I love that when we end with a proposal or something like that. I'm a fan. So yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. I don't know that these guys are as poppy as I thought they were, but I haven't heard the rest of their music, so who knows. My number 8 song is Brett Eldredge's The Long Way. This song has been out for a while now, but I really, really love the hook. Take me the long way around your town. That might be because I'm someone that drives. I actually took a personality assessment recently, and one of the questions was, I'm the type of person that drives around the block to finish a song. And you had to say strongly disagree to strongly agree. And I said strongly agree, because I'm that kind of person. I really get a lot out of driving. I love driving around people with their hometowns and kind of seeing the sights of where they grew up and what things are meaningful to them. And so I really like that image as the chorus. To me, driving the long way around your hometown is symbolic of, I wanted to know you and what's made you tick and about your past and how it's formed you, which is a really romantic thing to say. And Brett Eldredge's voice, that kind of husky baritone that he has, just sounds good. It just sounds good. My number 9 song is Luke Combs' When It Rains, It Pours. This song's pretty stupid. I mean, like, it is literally about he gets broken up with, but then he just has a really good day. And he wins, a vacation, and he wins a lottery ticket, and he doesn't have to see his ex-mother-in-law anymore, which is like my favorite line probably in a country song, or at least in a fun country song in the past year. But it's so fun to sing. It's this very specific situation where he had a bad day and then it turned into a good day through a series of lucky events, and I kind of love the quaintness of it in that way. I love this song. It's fun. And Luke Combs, again, this subdued production plus excellent voice, and not like the over popification, the Sam Hunting or, Walker Hazing of music. It's so nice to listen to. It feels like 90s country to me, and it's just kind of goes down easy. I'm going to round out my top 10 with another song by Jon Pardi, because I love him that much, and because radio failed this song, and it's called She Ain't In It, which I really love that his label gave this a big push, and that this album has had like a good 2-year life. She Ain't In It is just this sort of late night at the honky tonk kind of song, like there's a tear in my beer sort of sad breakup song, and Jon Pardi's just like, he wants to write a song, but this girl isn't in it because she's broken up with him. I love the fiddle in this song. I love the guitar in this song. I love the kind of wooziness of the lyric. I love his delivery and the kind of the way he enunciates. Gets that kind of like sad drawl. It's so good. I'm going to throw an honorable mention into this list and say Blake Shelton's I'll Name the Dogs. I really like this song. I really like Texoma Shore overall as an album. Blake's entering a phase of his career where you can tell he's not being as concerned with getting every number 1 and being the hottest thing in country, because, I don't know, he's had kind of his 5-year window of doing that, and then you kind of get cycled out. But he's still got some life, a lot of life left in his career, especially being on The Voice. And this song's just like fun and country. It reminds me so much of Honeybee. It's kind of a list song, but it's a great version of a list song. And I'll Name the Dogs is a very funny way of talking about a long-term relationship. You name the kids, I'll name the dogs. I like it. All right, guys, so that is it. That's 10 songs that I liked from country radio in the past year. Some of them I wish had done better. Some did extremely well. Let me know what your favorites are, or if any of my choices resonate with you. Again, not a ranking. I wasn't saying Thomas Rhett's number one. I would have probably put Heartache on the Dance Floor at number one because I really, really like that song. But give me some of your choices. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't checked out my channel before. And I'll be coming back at you with a bunch more country. We've kind of slowed down a little bit. We had like 1 million releases that came out in April, and it was kind of overwhelming. And now May has been like a much chiller month. But that's how it goes. As Luke Combs says, when it rains, it pours. And with that dad joke, I am out of here. Bye, guys.